What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the NASCAR Truck Series race on Draftkings at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This race is Friday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. If you're new here, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me grow. Just trying to continue to grow. We've got a lot of new followers, new subscribers so far in the NASCAR season. Just want to keep that up. If you want to get more of my content, you can always subscribe to my Patreon. I'll put the link down below. It's $10 a month. You're gonna get all three series combined. You're going to get two spreadsheets with a bunch of stats and projections you need to know. Then you're going to get all the past optimal lineups for every single race. You're going to get the average optimal lineup for this race, what I think that the optimal lineup will look like in this race. And you're also going to get basically what every single driver needs to hit value, if I think they'll do it. My player pool every week, rankings, tier rankings, cash core, a few other things. So be sure to check that out. I'll put the link down below for that. But yeah, that's really all I got on that. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll put the link down below on that. Oh, and I've joined America DFS to be their content creator in their Discord. They're planning on launching a website soon, so be sure to hit that link for the Discord down below. I'll answer any of your questions down there. And it's just a bunch of people talking about NASCAR DFS every week, and I think that's a really good way to get better at DFS. It's just to talk to other people. So yeah, that's really all I got to say. We're going to start with the slate. There's just one, main factor here that is in this race that's not in every other race, and that's Kyle Busch. He's $15,000 this week, but I think he's a must play. He's not expensive. He's too cheap. Yeah, you're gonna say $15,000 too cheap. What? No, Kyle Busch is way too cheap. Kyle Busch has won 12 out of the last 15 truck races that he's been in. Over the last 3 years, 12 wins and 15 tries. He is elite, and he leads laps in every single one of these things. I mean, as you see, best average finish at Las Vegas, best intermediates, best steep tracks, best average position at all these races as well. He's going to have the most laps led at intermediate tracks in the field, second most laps led at steep tracks, but I mean, that's crazy considering he's only raced 15 races and Brett Moffitt's raced 3 full seasons. And at Las Vegas, he has the most laps led. He won this race a year ago. He is absolutely insane when it comes to these races. Most fast laps at intermediates, third most at steep tracks, and the most at Las Vegas. But I can't stress enough, he's only raced 15 races, and at steep races is only like 3 or 4 track races, and he's got the third most amount of laps or fast laps compared to Moffitt and Sauter, who've raced full time in the last 3 seasons. So Kyle Busch, man, elite. He also has the best driver rating, by the way. I mean, I just can't say enough. You have to pay for him to pay off his salary. Kyle Busch needs to win this race and lead 2 laps, or no, I think it's 8 laps, and we know he's gonna do more than that. He starts 29th. He has a ton of place differential. We know he's going to drive his way up. He's going to lead a bunch of laps. He's going to have a ton of fast laps getting there as well. I mean, this is just, you plug and play him. In my tournaments, I'm going to be playing 100% Kyle Busch. I know that. I do it every single time he races. It kills me every once in a while when he, wrecks or something, but for the most part, it always works out, and he's always in the optimal lineup in these races. So, yeah, Kyle Busch, $15,000. Lock him in here. I want to play him. Now, it's going to really make it hard to play guys like Austin Hill, Zane Smith, and Parker Kligerman. And usually when you have someone that's going to be super highly owned, I say, yeah, go to these other guys to be different, but I don't know. Kyle Busch is still better. There's ways you can fit these guys in with a bunch of cheap guys, a bunch of punt plays. So if you can fit them in, I think all 3 of them are really good plays. I really like Zane Smith especially. He's really good at the intermediate tracks, 4th best average finish, 5th best at Vegas. Not been as great as steep tracks, but still overall pretty good at these racetracks. I like him a good bit. Austin Hill is all right here, 31st. He has a 10th best average finish at Vegas, 7th best at intermediates, only 15th best at steep tracks. His average position isn't really that good. Austin Hill's honestly been trending down the last 2 to 3 years. So I don't really know how much I want to get there. I don't think he's as likely to hit Dominator points. Well, okay, hold on. I don't even want to talk about Dominator points for anyone else. Kyle Busch is going to get all the Dominator points in this race, or for the most part of them. So I don't really expect this to be, double Dominator race. So Austin Hill's a place differential play. And then Parker Kligerman, starting 40th. I mean, he'll probably get you a top 20. That's kind of what I'm expecting from him. That'll do good enough for you. I prefer Zane Smith and Austin Hill to him, though, just because Parker Kligerman is expensive, especially Zane Smith. If there is another guy in this tier I'd want to play, it would be Zane Smith. I'd still play all Kyle Busch, but if you can fit in one of these guys, I would get Zane Smith. Sheldon Creed starts 2nd, not really interested. He's good. 3rd, best average finish at Vegas, 10th at intermediates. When you look at average position, great at all 3 of these things. He's led 496 laps at intermediate tracks over the last few years, but doesn't have anywhere to go, and he's going to just get blown by Kyle Busch in 15 to 20 laps here. Same thing with John Hunter Nemechek, Kyle Busch's teammate for this race. Same thing. I just really don't want to go there. He just offers me no place differential upside, and I don't think he'll get too many Dominator points, even if he gets out to the lead. Brett Moffitt's $9,200. He starts 17th. He has great numbers everywhere, but like I've said in previous videos for the truck race, this is a completely different truck than we've seen Moffitt in. He's been racing for GMS Racing for the most part the last few years, which is just a much better truck than what he's in now. He's in the Nice Motorsports truck, which just is nowhere near as good. I mean, if you go look at the team stats, 19th best average finish at Vegas, 20th at intermediates, and 17th at steep tracks, compared to what he was driving last year, which is who Zane Smith drives for 4th, 6th, 8th. It's just not that good of a truck, so I don't want to pay $9,200 for that, especially when, I can just pay for other place differential plays. Ben Rhodes starts on the pole. He's won both races this year. I'm going to avoid that. I don't think that he leads too many laps here. If he gets out to front, he does lead laps fine, but I honestly expect Creed or Nemechek to get out and lead instead of Rhodes early, but then Kyle Busch is going to get past him anyway, so I don't really want to go there. Grant Enfinger is an interesting one to me because he's not racing for the normal truck he is in. He's usually in that number 98 truck for ThorSport, but he's running a part-time schedule with them this year with Christian Eckes. They're kind of subbing in and out of that truck. But this week he's racing for the Cody Rohrbach team that we usually see him in the number 9 truck. And that truck's usually not that fast, but Enfinger's been good at intermediate tracks, 6th best average finish at intermediates, and 7th at steep tracks. So he's been good at these tracks, but this truck is not good. Like 25th best average finish at Vegas, 32nd at intermediates, and 30th at steep tracks. I know Grant Enfinger's a talented driver, but I don't think he's so talented that he's going to make this car into a top 5 car all of a sudden. So I don't think I want to pay for Grant Enfinger. I think he's going to be off my lineups, off my pool this week. Matt Crafton starts 4th, $8,600. Again, he's been good here over the past. Third best intermediate tracks and 4th best at steep tracks. Not the best at Vegas overall, but at the similar tracks, he's been really good. I don't want to pay $8,600 for him now. I just don't. Starting 4th, I don't think he gets a lot of dominator points. I don't think he gets out to an early lead. I think Kyle Busch gets them sooner than later, and I don't want to pay for that. Stuart Friesen starts 9th. Not going to be too interested here. I don't see any dominator point upside for him. He can finish well, so I think Friesen's a little bit better. If he gets into the top 4 or something, he could be interesting. But, this is going to be a stars and scrubs slate, and I don't really want to pay for that. 8th best average finish at Vegas, 9th at intermediates, 9th at steep tracks. I just see him kind of hanging around where he starts. Tyler Ankrum, $8,200, starting 16th. He's a little bit interesting. He has the 9th best average finish at Vegas. 19th at intermediates isn't great, though, but 8th at steep tracks is. So Ankrum's interesting here. I could see him getting a top 5 in this race, and that's going to pay off his salary. Probably don't want to go there in cash lineups, but in tournament lineups, I think Tyler Ankrum's fine. I definitely like going to that a lot. Johnny Sauter starts 11th. Not going to be interested there. Doesn't really offer a ton of places differential upside, and we haven't seen him give us any dominator upside over the last few years at all, or especially last year at all. The whole thing last year was Johnny Sauter's probably going to bounce back because last year Johnny Sauter was having mechanical issues. It seemed like every single week. But yeah, he was. But before those mechanical issues, it's not like Johnny Sauter was running well in most races. I'm not expecting this massive bounce back year from Johnny Sauter. I don't think he's the focus at ThorSport anymore. I think Ben Rhodes is because he's their young driver, and I don't think Johnny Sauter's getting. I don't think that equipment's as good as someone like the GMS trucks or the KBM trucks. So I don't think Johnny Sauter is really going to have that great of a year. His numbers are going to look good from the past 2 years because 2 years prior to last year he was great. But I just don't think Johnny Sauter's someone I want to get to this week at all. Christian Eckes starts 5th. I'm not going to want to go there. He's in a good truck, though. I will say that, driving for ThorSport. Not best average finish at Vegas, but good at intermediate tracks. 5th best average finish there. 10th best at steep tracks. When you look at the average position, he has the 5th best average position at Vegas, 3rd best at intermediates, and the 6th best at steep tracks. Driving for ThorSport, that's a good car. 9th best average finish at Vegas, 11th at intermediates, and 13th at steep tracks. But he starts too high. I don't really want to pay for that. If he finishes inside that top 5, I think he could be okay, but still, for the most part, not going to be all that interested there. Connor Daly's driving for Nice Motorsports, and he's only raced one truck race before, and that was last year at Las Vegas, the second Vegas race, not this one. It doesn't really make that much difference, both for night races. I guess it's different times of year. The track temperatures may be a little bit different, but still, for the most part, not really too much to worry about there. Finished 19th. I'm sorry, he did not finish 19th. He has a 19th best average finish. I'm going to go find what he finished. I do want to say that because I completely forgot. Connor Daly. He's down here somewhere. He finished 18th last year. Okay, so one position off. Connor Daly finished 18th in Vegas a year ago. So I'd expect him to get somewhere between probably in the 16 to 25th range. And if he hits that top 20 range, he'll pay off. If not, he doesn't. Interesting play. Probably we only go for tournaments. Draftkings price not based on starting positions. So Todd Gilliland, not interested. Starts 6th. 11th best average finish at Vegas. 14th at intermediate. 6th at steep tracks. Starts too high. Doesn't offer us a lot of place differential. Rafael Assar, $7,400, starts 13th. Also really not that interested. Not really the best intermediate track driver. Although he has some better equipment this year for GMS Racing, it's not that big of a jump. He went from the second best team to the best team. So not really too worried about it there. I don't want to pay for that. Chandler Smith starts 7th at $7,300. I think Chandler Smith's interesting because we have seen him, aside from that average finish where he wrecked every race, when he doesn't wreck, he does well. Fourth best average position at Vegas, second best average finish. He's done well at steep tracks. I think Smith's interesting. Um, I think he can finish inside that top five. And that $7,300, that's going to pay off that salary. So I do think he's an interesting tournament only play that I'll probably have some exposure to, but still, for the most part, not going to be all that excited for it. Timothy Peters starts 19th. Um, I mean, he'll probably hang around that top 20 in the whole race, so not going to be too interested there. Tanner Gray starts 22nd. I am interested here. He does have a really good average finish at Vegas, but he just offers some place differential upside. Like, I don't expect him to get a finish third in this race, but he can compete for a top 10 for sure. And $7,000, that's going to really be very valuable for that salary. So Tanner Gray does seem very interesting to me. David Gillen is $6,900 starting 14th. No, not. I don't want to pay for that. Same thing with Derek Kraus starting 8th. Just doesn't offer us place differential upside here. Doesn't offer us dominator point upside. See, it's hard this week because usually, like, a lot of these guys are starting from, like, yeah, I'm interested in them. They offer us dominator point upside, but not Kyle Busch in the field. So it just kind of sucks everything out of it. Chase Purdy is $6,600 starting 21st. Purdy's been bad at the intermediate tracks, man. 26th best average finish at intermediates is bad, and 24th best average running position. Like, look, I know he's in good equipment, but Chase Purdy is not good. I don't really know why he's in this ride. He has never shown anything that has really been good, so I'm not going to be too interested there. Jordan Anderson's kind of interesting. Starts 28th, $6,500. I'm usually not really too interested in Jordan Anderson too much, but here I am a little bit. He's done well at Vegas on the intermediate tracks. 14th best average finish at Vegas, 15th at intermediate tracks, and 17th best at steep tracks. Now, I will say he doesn't usually run so well. It always seems like he has a good run at the end to finish well. His average position is only 21st at Vegas, 26th at intermediates, and 23rd at steep tracks. So that is, kind of whatever. But still, for the most part, I think that's kind of interesting. Starting 28th, he is interesting to me. I think there's guys you can just pay a little bit cheaper that offer similar place differential upside in the back, but I don't think Jordan Anderson's a terrible play. Haley Deegan starts 30th at $6,400. Let me go see what she finished last year, too. Haley Deegan. Last year, she didn't race Vegas. She raced Kansas, though. She finished 16th. So, so starting 30th, I think she offers us good place differential upside. I think she's too cheap. She's kind of struggled to start the year, but not really. At Daytona, she was running pretty well, and then she got wrecked. And then same thing at the road course. She was in the top 10, and I think she had a flat tire or whatever, and it screwed her. So she's starting in the back here, and she's still too cheap because her finishing position hasn't been great. But she's done well. The one intermediate race she did last year, she did very well in. I think she can get a top 20 for sure and compete for a top 15. And it's $6,400, and it's going to be a really good value here. So Haley Deegan is someone I'm definitely interested in. Ryan Truex starts 24th. He's $6,300. I don't want to pay for that. He's not. I mean, he's done well at Vegas, but other intermediate tracks, not at all. 25th best average finish and 25th best average position. Starting 24th doesn't really stand out to me at all. Danny Bones starts 26th. He's $6,200. Again, not someone I really want to get to. 24th best average finish at Vegas, 28th at intermediates, 26th at steep tracks. His team On Point Racing isn't really all that great, so not going to want to go there. Spencer Boyd's kind of interesting starting 33rd. Like, I mean, you just need some cheaper plays here, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Spencer Boyd, I mean, 27th best average finish at Vegas, 31st at intermediates, and 29th at steep tracks. It's not great, but he starts far back at $6,100. He's kind of interesting. I'm probably not going to play him. There's guys that I'm way more interested in here than Spencer Boyd. Corey Roper starts 27th. He just starts too high. He's going to finish around there. I don't want to pay for that. Brett Holmes is interesting here. So Brett Holmes is racing for his own team. He's an ARCA driver. I believe this is his first start. I'm pretty sure this is his first ever start. So I don't really know what that truck is at all. But, I mean, I would have to imagine he's not just going to come out here and start and park. He's probably trying to get himself a ride in the Truck Series next year or something. So I imagine he's going to be decent. He starts 38th. He has a lot of place differential upside starting there. So I do like that at $5,800. So I'm definitely going to be interested in Brett Holmes this week. He's kind of a risk because I just don't know what that truck is. But at the same time, I would expect him to come out here and at least try to be somewhat decent and maybe compete for a top 25, maybe a top 20. That's kind of what I expect out of Brett Holmes. I'm really just not 100% on that. I know I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but I will be going live tomorrow, or if you're watching this on Thursday. I'll be going live on Friday, probably about 4:30, 5 p.m. Depends. I got some things I got to take care of, so I'll know for sure in the morning tomorrow what time I'll be going live at, and I'll do more research on Brett Holmes and his truck, and I'll know more by the time that video is live. So be sure to come over here and see if I really like Brett Holmes. We'll find out by tomorrow. Tyler Hill starts 25th. He's $5,700. Tyler Hill is interesting to me. I do like this as a play. Hill Motorsports is actually good in the trucks. I mean, maybe not the best at Vegas, but at the steep tracks, intermediates, they've been solid. Tyler Hill's, I mean, the Hill truck's been known to get up inside the top 20. He doesn't offer us a ton of place differential upside, but it's certainly there, so I don't hate it. I think Tyler Hill is kind of interesting here. Probably would prefer Brett Holmes at the moment, but we'll see. Dawson Cram not going to play, starts too high. Tate Fogelman starts too high, starting 20th. Although Tate Fogelman, at $5,500, if he just hangs around that starting position, maybe gets like 2 or 3 spots, is interesting. I always find myself playing Tate Fogelman, and it kind of screws me a lot of times, but there's definitely been times where he doesn't crash, and I mean, that was all last year. Maybe he's, grown as a driver a little bit. We'll see. Obviously, this is the first oval race for the Truck Series. I've only seen him do the plate track and road course, so it is a little bit different. Starting 20th, I mean, he has the 18th best average finish at Vegas. It's not bad. If he can just hang around there, he is going to be interesting. But still, for the most part, I'd probably just prefer to play BJ McLeod starting 39th. Like, McLeod's like a safe driver. Like, BJ McLeod doesn't crash his cars. Like, this is a spot that's fine to me. Starting 39th, I don't know why he's $5,300. Like, they're going to price Holmes at $5,800. McLeod should probably be 6K, but whatever. The Ramey Brothers truck isn't bad either. I mean, okay, it's not great, but it's not awful. I mean, yeah, the average finishes aren't going to look good, but we've seen that truck finish inside the top 30 and top 25 before, and I think McLeod's better than most drivers we see in that truck for the most part, so I don't hate it. Look, it's not going to stand out. It's not going to be sexy. It's freaking BJ McLeod. No one ever wants to play BJ McLeod. I get it, but this is a slate where there's really not a ton of good value, and there's a Kyle Busch, and we have to play a Kyle Busch, so we have to figure out who to pair him with. And BJ McLeod is just going to be some value that's interesting to me. Chris Wright starts too high, I think. I mean, I don't really like. He's a road course guy. I can't imagine he hangs in the top 15. It's not like Young's Motorsports is really all that, so I don't think I'm going to be too interested there. Austin Wayne Self starts too high as well. Carson Hocevar is kind of interesting. I mean, we've seen him run pretty well to start this year. We've seen him have decent runs too, and I mean, starting ninth, he doesn't need to do a lot to pay off that salary. I mean, he just kind of has to hang in the top 13, 14 to pay off that salary. He can do it, but still don't really want to go there. I'm not going to play Norm Benning or Jennifer Jo Cobb, but Jesse Iwuji is the one guy I actually am going to be very interested in. So I don't know if any of you guys have been like following, NASCAR. I don't know how well most of you guys follow NASCAR or not. If you're just here for the DFS takes, or you're just here if you know NASCAR. But Jesse Iwuji got sponsorship this week. So Marcus Lemonis, who's the owner of Camping World, Camping World is like the sponsor of the Truck Series in general. Just kind of put out on Twitter this week like sponsors. If you want sponsors, like pay whatever. And he sponsored a ton of these trucks. There's like Sheldon Creed got a sponsor. There's a few other guys that I don't think it's going to affect that much, but it will affect Jesse Iwuji, I think. They're probably going to give their better equipment. This does okay. Now that I'm starting to think about this, this does maybe get me off BJ McLeod a little bit and prefer Iwuji. Now I wouldn't say Iwuji's like a great driver, but this truck might get the better of the two trucks from Ramey Brothers this week, because he has a sponsorship, and I mean that makes sense. So, Iwuji might get the better equipment. He starts 37th. He's only $4,500. He does not need to do a lot to pay off that salary at all. I don't hate it. I mean, yeah, he's in not great equipment, but sponsorship should help a little bit. I think he's fine. I think he's gonna be chalky because everyone's gonna play Kyle Busch. Everyone's probably gonna play BJ McLeod and Jesse Iwuji. I prefer Iwuji, I think right now, to McLeod, but I think they're both fine. Be sure to check back for that live stream. That's really all I gotta say. I mean, that live stream is gonna be important because I'll have a better grip on the value plays of the day. I know there was a bunch of guys that said no, 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 and honestly, that's how it's gonna be for this slate. I'm probably gonna have a really tight pool. But just, if you're going to play Kyle Busch, if you're going to play Kyle Busch and one of these guys, you're going to have to play all these guys down here. You're going to have to play Spencer Boyd, Holmes, Tyler Hill, and Iwuji or something like that. It's going to be wild. But if you're looking for more balanced approach, I think there's some guys in here like Haley Deegan's fine. Jordan Anderson's probably fine. Even Connor Daly's okay. I think Tyler Ankram's interesting. So there's just some guys in there that are kind of interesting to get at. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Xfinity video will be out tomorrow if you're watching this on Thursday, and Cup Series as well. They'll both be out on Friday. I don't know when you're watching this video, so be sure to stay tuned for that live stream. Be here tomorrow. I'll answer any questions you have, and be sure to go over more of the value plays. I think that's really important to get into this slate. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we're going to make some money this weekend in all three slates because last weekend was a disaster, and we just got to make up for it.